got a few of these clips I want to play ahead of Stefan Molyneux joining us, where Sanders says Comey did not cost Clinton the election. People don't think the Democratic Party is standing with them. Well, yeah, they stole the nomination from you, and then you rolled over and let them steal it, so you're just as bad, or maybe even worse, Sanders. But here's the deal. Hillary Clinton was an evil person. Americans found out about that. Blue-collar workers, but also skilled workers and others from the Rust Belt are who gave Trump this victory overall, and the Midwest. They call that red country, white lash, but those are the same whites that put Barack Obama in. The same areas that went predominantly for Obama are hitting the reset button. They're hitting the desperation button that will this elite just stop running an economy that's so consolidated, so monopoly-based, that we can get some of the crumbs. And I believe that Donald Trump, from his past history, being against NAFTA and yet other things, and what he's been through with these people, wants to try to deliver that. Now, it was Kit who's writing an article pointing out that Louis XIV, I remember reading about this, would appoint his enemies once he took over to key positions in Versailles. There at the palace outside Paris, or in Paris, they would appoint people so he could keep a very close eye on them and also control them. Some of the French emperors did that as well. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's appointing some patriots, some hardcore patriots. I mean, Stephen Bannon of Breitbart is about as hardcore as I am. Anti-New World Order, globalism, world government. I mean, he's against it all. Pro-gun, national sovereignty. He's hardcore. That is the chief advisor to the president and will tell Reince Priebus what to do. But still, I just don't trust Priebus. And what I've seen Trump do is he'll use somebody as a guide inside a system when he, say, charges into a goblin's nest. But he's not kissing goblins. He's not, in bed with a goblin. And, of course, that's the joke I made months ago. If he gets into office, it's one thing if he uses people who are in the system to get things done, to know who to call, to know how the nuts and bolts of the biggest government in the world works. But if he starts going along with their policies, I'm going to get very, very upset. But we're not even to that point yet. The elite are very, very upset at Trump because just exposing globalism and how it really works is coffin nails to it. And his discrediting of the whole media system. Let's savor this giant victory for the liberty movement. And then if Trump doesn't totally deliver, down the road, we get people even better. In fact, I have the numbers here. We're going to talk about when we come back. They lost the Senate even more. They lost the House more. They lost, 12 governors? 16, I'm going from memory. It was a devastating victory. And so Roger Stone's right when he said the day after the election, Alex, savor this a bit. Enjoy yourself a little bit. Because this is huge. There's no way his Supreme Court justices will be anywhere near as bad as Hillary. I'm worried because federal judges at high levels are just so globalist. I want to see Andrew Napolitano. In fact, I'm going to nominate him right now, and I know inside baseball, he was told a year ago, face-to-face by Donald Trump, that you're on my short list to be Chief Justice. Whatever that means. So notice now, though, before I'd say something about Trump, it'd be big news, because they know I'm talking to him. Now that he's the president, they just can't even deal with it. They can't even stand it. What does that tell you about Trump? I had lengthy conversation with him Friday. I'm not even bragging about that. But I do kind of pinch myself. I'm not the establishment, but let me tell you, we're making a good damn run at it. Let me tell you, InfoWars becomes the establishment. You better get ready because we're going to be so damn free it's going to make your head spin. We've come a long way. So everybody should be really excited. I'm finally having that euphoria. James O'Keefe was going to be on in the next hour today, but he is under the weather, understandably. He's been fighting so hard. He'll be joining us the next few days. We're having a victory lap from all the folks that we've had on who have been saying that Trump was going to win when the controlled corporate media was saying he was going to lose. And I've been making the point that people's identity in cults, North Korea, authoritarian fascist systems, that when the cult leader finally starts falling, they commit suicide in mass, they cry, they scream. just like we saw for 3 days after Kim Jong-un died in North Korea. This is a horrible, demonic, hereditary dictator. They couldn't even produce automobiles, electricity. Tens of millions have starved to death. Their population's gone down by 30% since they became communist back in the 40s. Every other nation, populations go up, not in North Korea. South Korea is about to surpass China for industrial output. Their people are fabulously wealthy because they have a little bit of freedom compared to North Korea. But it doesn't matter. I have been caught in 2 different traffic jams last Wednesday and Friday that go on from 3 in the afternoon until 10 at night, with more than 5,000 one day and 10,000 another day estimated, breaking windows, police cars, attacking businesses, beating people up, threatening to attack our camera people, and screaming, "You're not allowed to be here," at our crew, screaming, "You're white, you're a racist." And yes, in some cases, it's white people saying that with red flags, with hammers and sickles. These are people who live in a fantasy land, and their God has fallen. Now, think about who their God was. You couldn't be more corporate. You couldn't be more warmonger. You couldn't be more establishment. You couldn't be more fascistic. In her internal speeches to Goldman Sachs and others, it was totally fascist. At least with Sanders, he was a socialist. They stole it from him. But you don't care. You want to just run around and say everyone's racist. But strangely enough, even Bernie Sanders, who used the race card and said, "If you're white, you don't know what it's like to be poor." Remember that? He now admits, no, it was blue-collar people across the board and others, sick of losing their jobs, sick of being screwed over, sick of high taxes. Donald Trump's own tax plan, under $40,000 a year, 0 tax, which makes perfect sense because you still got property tax and sales tax and state income tax, blah, 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 blah. But that's going to cut your taxes a good 20%. The next tax bracket, a 30% cut, which is only, 10 points or so. And then it goes on. Corporate tax with the highest in the world, written by the corporations to make us move to China. This is simple. You want to bring it back, cut it 10 points to China's, or how about 15? Oh, they're threatening trade war. Okay, just cut it to 10. What are you going to do? Hey, same tax as you. That's not a war. It's a level playing field. You want jobs, this is how it's done. Communism, socialism, crony capitalism doesn't deliver. This was a vote against that. The same white people that voted in droves, the demographics are there, to elect Obama in a huge landslide, are the ones that voted for Trump. Now, even Michael Moore sees which way the wind's blowing and came out and admitted this over the weekend. The problem is the George Soros people, the Democrats, they've been caught in Austin and in Chicago and other areas. I have seen it myself where what is going on? And you see like 100 buses turning off the highway, and then I later learned they went downtown. Now it's confirmed Zero Hedge is being funded by MoveOn.org. Outrageous to then say to Trump, well, 60 Minutes last night, we're going to play the clip coming up. Your people are out doing racist things. Your people are out attacking folks. Are you going to tell them to stop? Well, if they are, that's terrible. Yes, stop. Oh, Trump apologizes. No, Trump's trying to defuse, trying to be presidential. Ladies and gentlemen, this is outrageous. 99% of the racial attacks are against Trump supporters. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed people are being attacked everywhere, being told, you look like Trump. This is the most, they're saying rape Melania is a meme with signs all over the country, the most misogynistic crap. This is what the establishment's done. They know race-based garbage is the most gutter-level tribal crap there is. And so the Western world phases it out. We change it. We're the group that did, more than anybody, push that garbage out and make it about what you stand for, what you produce. And now, the establishment doubles back with the new populations we brought in class envy, and mixes it with racism to try to bring the nation down. And this is a repudiation. And the great news is, and what has them scared, record number of black Americans, record number of Hispanic Americans and Asian Americans voted for Donald J. Trump as a repudiation. And that's why they're crapping their drawers. It's why they funded minorities to go to the Trump rallies and scream racism, was so that minorities don't feel welcome. Something started happening. Libertarians, patriots went out and got folks and said, come with me. They got hugged. They got loved. They came together. A lot of times people said, hey, what business are you in? I've talked to folks here in Austin. I'm in this, but we want to hire you. Come work with us. People want you to cross those lines. Ideology is thicker than blood, folks. You understand that? Now, I know that historically. The Renaissance is here if you just take it. They're trying to blow it up because they can't, the big corporations don't want to compete with an open free market. not going to sit here and say, see, I told you so, that communist Chinese-style net censorship was coming to the web, because it's already here. It's being announced. The way you keep the internet open and free is you get involved more than ever. Go to Infowars.com/app. A new battleship in the fight. Infowars Live. Available right now. We're looking for a